Alright, what's going on everybody on YouTube? Griffin here, coming back to you guys with another Sunday stock watch. First and foremost, if you're new to the channel, we love to have you join our community of a bunch of like-minded individuals, so definitely consider hitting that subscribe button below. We're about to like 440 members now, so that is awesome. And while you're at it, go ahead and check out our totally free Discord group chat. That should be one of the very first links in the description box. There's about 40 of us in there now. Josh, super quick to act. Welcome, welcome. But yeah, we love to have you in our group too. That's the easiest way to get in contact with me on a regular basis. On my social media, you can as well. Those are all in the description box. How's it going there, Clint? Man, this light. I don't know if you guys noticed, but you can actually see me a little bit better. It's because I have this lamp with this really bright white light, and I don't know, I might have to move it because, man, that thing is bright. Definitely won't be falling asleep during the stream. But so obviously, if you guys have any ticker symbols, first and foremost, if you guys have any ticker symbols, anything like that, you want me to break down, give my opinion on it. Obviously, you shouldn't trade off of anybody's opinion, but obviously, we're all here to kind of just throw ideas off one another. You guys can break it down with me as well as I'm going through it. If you see something maybe I don't, that's what the chat's for, of course. So feel free to chat it up, fill it up, and I'll definitely break down close to anything that you throw out there, other than most penny stocks. Most penny stocks, I'm just going to say no, run away from. But obviously, you guys know what I like to use the most, especially for people getting into options. Iron Condor's vertical spread specifically is XOP. Why? Because, I mean, at least for me, XOP tends to be pretty predictable. You know that there's a oil report, inventory report every single week. Obviously, there's a little bit of news here and there that can make the market, the oil market, hiccup or possibly go up a little bit further. But overall, it's pretty predictable. When we think about XOP, we want to go and look at the oil futures /CL. You can see it's currently at 57.03 right now, so it's up a little bit, which makes sense because from what I heard, Saudi Arabia was talking about not exporting as much oil to the United States. It's all just he say, she say at this point. But expect oil to probably bounce and try to get around $58 tomorrow. We usually do options here. UGAS and DGAS, yeah. So only thing I was going to say about oil really quickly is I would not be surprised if this is going to bounce short term, especially this week with travel, everybody traveling and whatnot. Obviously, oil is probably going to go up. I think oil might try to retest $60 this week. Obviously, you can see 60 held as a pretty decent little support there for a few days. And then ultimately, we kept coming down. So look for it to test 60 this week overall, which real quickly for your XOP Iron Condor would mean what? You're probably going to want to set it up between, at the minimum, 36 to 36.50. And on the low end, I would say probably 32.50 to 33. So if we just went over here and set up a 1 week Iron Condor, which you guys know I like to do a lot, I would set it up probably realistically around 33, and then on the high side probably around 36. If you want, you can, if you think you're going to be a little bit more bullish on it, you could go ahead and pull it to like 37, and then that's probably about where I would set it. In all honesty, you have an 84% chance of making profit, max profit after commissions and everything. 346. Again, do the math. Always do the math. Pull our calculator up. $3.46 divided by 46.54 per each position. You're talking 7.5% return for the week. Not a bad return. And then obviously, if your goals are higher than 78%, by all means, you can mess around with these, make them more of a chicken Iron Condor. But in all honesty, this is probably the closest I would get. I know it seems like a pretty safe trade, and it is. It's 84%, 5% chance of being in the money, 86% chance of being in the money, which is fairly high as well. Like I said, I don't think personally oil's going to come down much further this week. It might come down short term to like, pull up oil again real quick. It might come down short term to like 54 to 55 again, but it's probably going to form some little double bounce. If so, I don't think it is. I think it's gonna, at the lowest, come down to about 55, 56 this week. But either way, for you with XOP, that would just mean it might retest that $34 low. So I mean, if you got 34. If you have yours at 33, you have more than enough. But like I said, if you want it, if you're like, well, I'm going to go ahead and pull to 33.50, you still got a 77% chance of profit. So I won't complain about that trade. And your max profit goes up roughly $3. So you're almost doubling your profit. So that's about, what, 13 to 15% profit at that point. It's just about playing around. What risk versus reward are you willing to take at the end of the day? US oil, that's actually surprising. I haven't kept up with it too much, but that's surprising. Looks like it's on a uptrend. Let's look at the 20-day. So yeah, the last couple days it's gone up a little bit, up about $1, not quite $1, but up about 40 cents. But don't look for it to necessarily come back and retest 13 or 15 anytime soon, because it's still generally going to follow the overall trend of oil. That's why whenever you look at the 180-day of this versus the 180-day of /CL, you can see they're pretty damn similar. So more than likely this will come up to probably like 12.50 tomorrow, in all honesty, but don't expect it to like don't expect it to come up and retest 13 or anything like that. I don't think personally anytime soon. But as for your UGAS and DGAS, so obviously when you're looking at these, you're going to want to look at /NG, if I remember right, natural gas. So obviously natural gas has spiked recently. Like clockwork, every fall and winter, natural gas prices spike, and they've spiked more than usual this year because of pretty much just on speculation, in all honesty. People are looking at the forecast for the winter, and a lot of like weather people and whatnot are expecting a much colder winter than normal this year. Thus, you had a spike in natural gas because they thought that there was going to be a higher demand. Obviously, higher demand, higher price, thus natural gas prices raised, which would mean what? You saw UGAS pop big time this week, all the way up to a whopping $260 at one point. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about those technical difficulties. Let me make sure that everything's hooked up all right. Yeah, we're good. Okay, I apologize for that, but like I said, UGAS and DGAS are going to be massive really good plays here the next, in all honesty, probably next at least month or two. Personally, I would want to be on the UGAS side, but obviously it's just too expensive right now. It's had a massive pop here the last week or so. I want to kind of just watch the weekly reports for the next week or two. You can see natural gas prices rise amid supply concerns. Cold weather for pretty much exactly what I just said. 200% surge. Spike on forecast. So it's all, I mean, reports actually look like. And those, I believe, are on Thursday morning at like, if I remember right, 9:30 a.m. Central, or maybe 10, something like that. You can Google it, and it's pretty easy to find. But you definitely want to pay attention to those reports because they will swing UGAS and DGAS quickly usually. But if we look at it short term, you can kind of see just the last, week or so. See this day, what was this? We had Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, so it might be Wednesday. It's either Wednesday or Thursday, but you saw this massive drop. So I think it was Thursday because $100 is probably going to be a pretty decent setup now for support, $100 to $105. But still, it's going to be a pretty, if I were to play the two, I'd probably play DGAS just because, one, it's a lot cheaper. It's down a lot. If anything, I'm almost half tempted to scoop up some just for a short term, like a weekly trade, just pick up like 5 shares of it at $3, and 10 shares even. You're talking 30, 35 bucks. And then if for some reason natural gas, for some reason another speculation or something happens, you can see this spike up to like $10. You're talking $7 of profit per share times 10, $70 profit. It just depends. Thursday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern. Okay, I might have been thinking my time, 9:30 a.m. Yeah, that'd be Central. So yeah, that makes sense. Thanks for that, Clint. But yeah, if I were to play the two, I'd probably play DGAS personally. I don't know if you can actually play options on those. I think you can, if I remember right. No, yeah, no options available. What about UGAS? Probably not. Yeah, I don't think you can play options on the natural gas. Yeah, not those at least. But yeah, I mean, those are definitely going to be fun ones to play for the coming months, at least for the next month or two at the minimum, maybe even longer, especially once we get in those really, really quote-unquote cold months where you're really going to see is natural gas going to spike or go low because obviously it'll show if the speculation was right or wrong, and if it was wrong, then you could see UGAS drop like a rock, and then DGAS in return would go up. So you definitely just want to pay close attention to it for sure. But that would definitely be a fun one to trade for sure, especially for those of you that can sit at the laptop and do minute by minute trades. Let me check our stream. I'm going to try to remember to check the stream a little bit more frequently just to make sure that we're doing alright. And if it starts messing up on your all's end or anything, definitely let me know. So, overall, man, I feel like I got something in my throat. So, overall, I mean, you've probably seen the title of, like, the actual stream for the day. It was just our stocks in general at buy, sell, SPY. That's what I was kind of getting ready to get into. Is the stock market in general kind of in a buy, hold, sell, set up Iron Condor, vertical spread? Just kind of where is the market right now? Because we kind of been in this wedge the last week or so between around 270 and 280 essentially. You can I would even say 276. I mean, we had that 1 or 2 days where we went above 275, 276, but we really just been in this little $5 to $10 wedge right now, or range, not even a wedge, just a range. So I am full back on the bullish bandwagon when it comes to the market. I think we've hit our low. I think 259.85 was the low for this correction. And I mentioned it last week, or I think it was last Sunday, Stock Watch. I said, do not be surprised if SPY retreats to around 270 this week before gaining some steam and starting to go on and go back on bullish. Because I knew it popped up to 280 too quick. I was like, that was awfully quick. I mean, you're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trading days, and it went up $22 per share on SPY, which is what, about 22 divided by, let's just round up even and just say 260. You're talking an 8% rally in a period of 6-7 trading days. So I mean, you're talking over 1% a day average over that last week or so of trading. And I was like, it just happened too fast. It's come back too fast. It's probably going to try to find a new support, which was around 270. I said 270 because you saw it got rejected multiple times. Every time it tried to come back above that, it would kind of get rejected. And then finally, it gained a little support right there. I think it was either late, not last week, but the week before, or early this last week. I think it was like the end of not this last week, but the week before. Gained a little bit of support there at 270. I seen that, and then I saw obviously we just ripped the last week or so. And I was like, it's probably going to come back down, retest 270, right around 270, before ultimately starting to go higher. So I'm back bullish on the bullish bandwagon. I don't see anything really that's going to knock the market off or anything. I mean, we're going into holiday season now, so I mean, they keep talking about how consumer confidence is like at all time. Pretty much, they're from the whole speculation side, everybody's in full-fledged Goldilocks economy mode, where all they're going to do is, for the most part, talk good, unless if the rug gets pulled out from the stock market and we ultimately just keep going lower. But I don't think that's going to happen personally. So I think a reasonable price target from like SPY from this week's standpoint would be around 280. I'm not saying you should necessarily go out and put 280 calls or anything tomorrow like that, because we won't want any calls or anything like that. But you might want to consider one of those Iron Condors. So if we went and looked at SPY, or maybe you wanted to do a vertical spread. For a vertical spread, just more of a bullish vertical spread, again, I would wait until one of those red days, but that's just me. So let's say we still want to do the 5-day Iron Condor, and obviously these prices are going to change slightly tomorrow because you're going to go from 5 days, or no, you're going to be at 5 days still. So they won't change an awful lot, but they might change $1 or $2. So we know more than likely that our range is going to be around 270. But of course, I'm going to buy a little bit more insurance. I'm going to go a little bit higher with them. So I'm going to do 268 to be on the safe side. Unselect. I'm going to select these two guys, bring them down, and then I'm going to bring those down to roughly, I would say 282. So we're at okay, there we go. 281 is roughly where I want that. So you can see our potential for profit there is, did I do that right? Okay. So our potential for profit's right around 80% on this trade. Max profit of $8, max loss of 42. So again, you have roughly what, a 7% profit on that specific trade for the week. Now obviously you can get big, like massive profits if you can sit at your computer and do the short-term calls, short-term puts, which I know Josh does a lot of those. He's in the group chat a lot, and he'll give us updates on he made some money on a put, made some money on a call, and he'll literally do, from what it sounds like, just like maybe 1 trade, 2 trades at the max in a day or so, and then he's out, and then he just waits. Sometimes, if I recall, sometimes he'll buy some like near the end of the day, not have to worry about ruining his PDT, not having to get in with the PDT mess, and he knows he's going to hold that trade overnight, and he plans on it going his way in the morning, then he'll cash out on it the next day. He can correct me if he's wrong, if I'm wrong on that, but I think he does a little bit of that as well. And I mean, he's literally like quadrupled his account. He had roughly, I think it was like $80 or something, and last I checked, he was up to like $200 or $300, something like that, just in like the last month by doing that. So you can by all means do that. And what I'm talking about whenever, let me go ahead and just clear this order. What I'm talking about whenever I'm talking about what he does, he'll do, for example, say he thinks the market might go down tomorrow. Probably doesn't, but let's say he thought that. So he'd go in here, and then he usually, if he does what I think he does, he goes slightly out of the money. Like he would do like a 271 put, or maybe a 272, something like that. Just depends on how much money he's wanting to like put forward, because obviously you have to put forward, the closer to in the money you get, the more you have to put up, because I mean, you're essentially buying insurance to ensure your potential for profit goes up and up and up. And again, with these puts and calls, your potential for profit gets sliced like more than in half versus doing Iron Condors or vertical spreads, because essentially when you're buying a call or buying a put, you need the stock to move in the direction you are expecting it to move. Not only that, but you need it to do it quick, because in 5 days your theta is literally going to burn you alive. So essentially you're going to be losing roughly $16 per day on that trade. So I mean, literally just off of time decay, you are going to be losing the money. So I mean, it needs to move relatively quick. So like, I know what he does a lot of times is, and I've done this before, and I know a lot of guys that hop in options do this, you wait for SPY to pop or drop really quick, and say it pops up, say it just now popped up to looks like 274. Wow. So I mean, he might do this tomorrow actually. So say it opens at 274, he would do like a 273. Obviously these prices are going to be very different in the morning, since it looks like it's going to open about 30-40 cents higher. But he would hold that trade for minutes, maybe an hour, something like that. Like I said, maybe overnight if it's an afternoon session trade, and then he'll cash out on it usually. I mean, you're not trying to hold these at all. These are literally, I wouldn't call them lottery tickets, but if you're trying to hold them for the whole time, then yeah, they're lottery tickets, because I mean, they're just the worst thing you can do is like a 1 day, 3 day, anything like that. I don't really like doing these, but I can't lie. Once I go into doing this full time, I'll probably do them here and there, just the ones that are blatant obvious. When the stock market pops in the morning over something, you know it's going to cool off a little bit in the afternoon. That's when you can play those the best. But yeah, I mean, usually you only have at the max about a third of a chance on that making you money if you try to hold it till expiration. So another way you can do these puts, say you think, again, this is just an example, not that I think it's going to happen, but another way you can do this, we'll go ahead and just clear this order. Another way you can do this is a long put vertical spread. So if I'm thinking right, long put, because short put would mean you think it's going up, right? I think. But with these, what you do, so you're buying the two, I think I might be doing this backwards actually. Long, short call. So with the short call, you bring it up to where you don't think it's going to get to. So like say for this week, you don't think it's going to go higher than 276.50. Your potential for profits right around 70% on this trade, but look at your max loss compared to just buying a put. Buying the put, you were talking about like $144. This one you're talking a max loss of $32, but at the same time you only have a max profit of $18. But still, you're talking $16 off of a $34 investment. That's like just under 50% profit in 5 days, guys. So, I mean, that's not bad. I'm not saying this is the trade to do at all. Like I said, this is just for pure example, just giving you guys ideas on stuff you could do. I mean, there's so many options. When it comes to trading options, you could literally sit here and do this all day. But yes, overall, when it comes to the market and SPY, I think we're going higher this week. I think a decent price target would be right around 280. Why? Because that was a pretty decent resistance. I think we're probably going to test it again this week. You're going to have some strong resistance right around 274.50, which it looks like it was at 270. So yeah, I think we're probably going to test that tomorrow, in all honesty. And if we break through it, then I think we're definitely going to head on up to 280 sometime this week. So me personally, you guys know I love those Iron Condors. So like what I would do is go ahead and place my Iron Condor. I'd probably just do it at 270 if I can click on the damn things. I'd probably just do it 270, and then we'll unclick them, pull them down, and we will bring these to roughly 280. We'll do 281. So on this specific trade, why is it only 67%? Okay, what I'll do, because I like having my trades above 70% potential for profit when it comes to my Iron Condor, so what I'll do is I'll go ahead and bring them some 269.50. That's good enough. I don't think it's going below 270 this week personally. So you can see here we have a 72% chance on making $11, well, after fees, $6.46 off of a $43.54 investment. Again, do the math. Don't care about the dollars. We care about the percentages. I mean, you care about the dollars, obviously, but you care about the percentages more. The dollars come with percentages. 14.83% profit in 5 days. Divide that by your 5 days, you're talking roughly 2 to 3% a day. What do we say our goal is? If we can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I mean 1 to 5% a day. 5 is a super high number. You should be shooting for roughly 2% a day, 3% a day, right in there. And right here, we're talking pretty much 3% a day profit on this Iron Condor. And what does Iron Condor mean? Again, it just means as long as SPY stays between 269.50 and 281 for the whole week, you'll collect 14%, 15% profit on your money. So if you really like this trade, say you decided, well, I got some money, dude. let me go ahead and you're probably not gonna get it for 11. You probably get it for 10, FYI. But let's say you're like, man, I got some money and I like this setup. So let's say you wanted to trade roughly $1,000 trade on this position. There you go, $1,000. After commissions, you're gonna make almost $200 this week just off that trade alone, and that's damn near 20% profit at that point. Let's see, 196. Let's just say 196, and we'll round up and say 1,054. At that point, you're talking pretty much 18.6% profit on your money for the week. I'll take that any day of the week. So yeah, I mean, now this is a trade I would actually consider doing, in all honesty. I might be a little bit more conservative and push this down to like 268. Probably not 268. I'll probably push it down to 269. I'd pull this up maybe to like 282. But that's just me. I mean, we can take a look at how that would affect our profit. So I would probably push this to around 268. Let's just say, yeah, 268. Unclick, 281, 281.50. Probably bring that to 282. Look at that, 82% profit. That's beautiful. I can live with that. And then we're still talking roughly $146 of profit off of 1,100 bucks essentially. Why did I exit out the calculator? I do that every time. So $146.43 divided by 1,100, and we'll say 4. 13% profit still for the week, divided by 5 days. Almost just over 2.5% profit per day. I can live with that. And I mean, again, this is just based off of an $1,100 investment. Not huge. I mean, a good chunk of money, but you're talking $146 for going in Monday morning, submitting this trade, getting it filled at that price of $10 or whatever, or yeah, a net would be $8. So $8, whatever, and then just sitting there and just managing the position. I mean, literally, when I do an Iron Condor, I plan on, that's why I like doing it 70, 80+% profit, because I'm not so stressed. I have a job where I work 10, 12 hours a day. I can't be sitting here looking at my phone, pulling up a laptop or something all day. I like to be able to just be like, I wonder what that stock's sitting at right now. And then I check and I'm like, oh, okay, we still got $5 this way, $5 that way. We're good. And then move on with my day. I don't want to have to be checking it every 2 minutes, every 30 minutes, every hour. I want to be able to check it maybe once every couple hours just to make sure nothing crazy is going on. So that's why I like the Iron Condor so much, because literally as long as it stays between this price and this price, I make money. And I mean, the same can be said about those vertical spreads, because with a vertical spread, you're pretty much saying as long as it stays above this price, I'll collect money. Or on the flip side, if it stays below this price, I'll make money. That's all that Iron Condor is at the end of the day. It's a bullish vertical spread and a bearish vertical spread at the end of the day. So that is my opinion when it comes to SPY and options. Like I said, I don't really like doing the calls and puts, like the just straight up putting a call, putting a put. I mean, you just can't argue with 82% versus 30. I mean, there's just a lot more stress. Like I said, if you have the time to be able to sit there and look at them every few minutes, then yeah, I mean, you can make lots of money doing that stuff. But I'm not there yet. Once I'm able to do this full time, I'll be doing them here and there. Let me make sure again that our stream's doing all right. We got about 3 of you tuning in. Awesome, awesome. And by all means, if you guys know anyone that would like to just join the community, a bunch of like-minded individuals, definitely hit the share button, share the video with anybody. That would be greatly appreciated. And like I said, if you're new to the channel, we would love to have you here, so definitely consider subscribing. Roku, yeah, I wanted to check up on everything that I was invested in. Roku's up to 44.58 now. I think that's going to be a pretty good long-term play for me. I think I'm probably going to hold that till around 50 bucks is what I'm thinking before selling. I only have, I think, 2 shares, 3 shares, something like that. So I mean, I bought it, I forget the exact price, like $42 or $43, something like that. I think around 42.25 or something, but I don't remember. But either way, I mean, say I got it, let's just split the difference. Say I got it right about here. If I sold it around $50, I'm talking roughly 17% on that money. I won't complain about that. I like how it's setting up. Nice little, almost a little cup and handle formation going right there. The other one that I bought was Apple. That one's playing out pretty good for me right now. I think if I remember right, after hours it went up to like 194. Yeah, dead on 194. I bought it at, what was it, 187.25 on Thursday. So that I'm already going to be up $6-7 on. And I like Apple too, in all honesty, when it comes to the options play. So let's get Apple pulled back up. Obviously lately it's kind of like everything has kind of just rolled over a little bit, so to speak. But when we pull up our 20-day chart, what do we see? We see that 185 is a pretty damn good support. We called that out, I think, last week and the week before as the ultimate support. And I'm pretty sure that we're going to say right around 210, 205 even. 205 to 210 is going to be a solid resistance. And again, this is just for a 1 week play. So what I'm going to do, just go to Apple. We're going to do a 5-day Iron Condor. So since I know that 185 is going to be a pretty almighty support, and I know that 205 is going to be a pretty damn strong resistance at first, look at this, 90% chance of profit on this position. $21 off of a 229. Again, you're probably not going to get it for that exact price, so let's just say 20. So right here we're talking, this actually, I mean, that's not a great profit, but again, you're talking 90% chance of profit. So I mean, let's just at least do the math just to see what you would actually make. $15.46 divided by 234.54. You're still talking almost 7% for the week. I mean, divide that again by not 6 days. It's a little over 1%, like 1.25% per day. Again, not bad, and you have a 90% chance on making that. So 9 out of 10 chance on that being a profitable trade. Again, if you think, well, I don't think it's even going to come close to 205 this week, dude. I mean, that would be almost a $11 raise on the week. So, I mean, you could, again, just play with them a little bit. Say, I think it's only going to come down to here. You're still talking 86% chance of profit. I can live with that. At this point, we're talking $20. So now you can see the math starts to work a little bit more in your favor. $20.46 divided by 2, we'll just say 230. So now you're up to almost 9% profit. Divide that by 5 days again, and we're almost at 2% profit a day, which again, I can live with. 86% chance on that being a profitable trade. I love Apple when it comes to Iron Condors, guys. I mean, usually the premium's a little bit more, like you'll collect a little bit more, and I think in all honesty it's a lot because this 185 is, like, I guarantee you if we move this down a little bit, see, our profit went up, what, like $10 or $15 there? We're still at 80%, so I mean, this still isn't a bad trade either. Again, you're probably not going to get quite that. So we're talking 32. Again, this is the math. This is what you guys have to do. You have to decide, okay, I want to make this much this week. If you're talking Iron Condor's vertical spread specifically, you're like, I want to make this much percentage this week. Don't think about dollars. Again, the dollars will come. You need to focus on percentages. I want to make 8% per week. So you do the math, figure out how to get 8%. We already did 9, but let's say you've been doing this for a while and you're like, man, I need 10. I need 10 or higher. So okay, we're just doing the math until we get to where we need. So we're at $32.46 divided by, we'll just round up and say 218. What'd I do? I entered it too many times. $32.46, and I can tell you right now, this is a trade I'd probably do because I think it's like close to 20% profit. Divided by, again, we'll just say 218. Yeah, pretty much 15% profit. This is a trade I would do. This is a trade I would literally, once I start literally, man, I'm so close I can taste it. I was talking to my uncle this week about, I'm thinking about cashing out my emergency fund and paying off my debt so I can go all in on investing again. He talked me out of it since I got this trip coming up. He's like, heaven forbid you have some emergency come up and then you don't have the cash. And I was like, you're right. So I didn't. But, I mean, this is literally a trade I would submit like first thing tomorrow morning, if of course I had the funds in the account. I don't. I will next month. Next month I'm going to be investing $1,000 roughly into my trading account. So this, I mean, literally is a trade I would do. And again, let's say because I mean, I love this trade. This trade, I mean, I would do all day. So let's say I wanted to do roughly that much. Boom. You're talking, I'm going to collect $130 in a week off of $870 that I put up. I would take this trade all day, every single day of the week. 80% essentially chance of that being a successful trade, holding it all the way till expiration and collecting that full profit. Can't beat it. Cannot beat it. So, I mean, I love Apple, especially when it comes to trading these Iron Condors. And I think you guys would too. But like I said, you should never trade based off anyone's opinion. I'm literally breaking it down to show you guys what essentially you need to do to figure out. First, you need to figure out how much do you want to make in a week. Like, don't think about day to day. You're day trading at that point. I know a lot of people here don't have the time to day trade. You don't have PD. You don't have 25,000 in your account. So you need to figure out how much you want to make in a week, percentage-wise, not dollars. Say, I want to make, and a realistic goal if you're new is 5%, because you're talking 1% a day at that point. So you need to do the math. Do the math. I want to make 5%. Well, how much money do you have in your account? Okay, I have $500. Okay, so you're talking you want to make 25 bucks this week, roughly. Again, the dollars do not matter, because once you hear me say $25 in a week, you're like, no, fuck that. I want to make like 200 bucks at least. It's just not going to happen. You're talking 40% in a week. So you got to be a little bit realistic at the same time. You just need to realize, what's your goal? I want 5% a week. I want 10% a week. If you go over 10, you're starting to be a little bit unrealistic. You're not going to get that consistently. You're going to get your ass burned like I did a lot. Hint, hint, like I did a lot when I first started. I mean, this is year to date, because why? I was trading a bunch of stupid trades that had 20%, 30% chance of profit. Thought I could somehow beat the algorithm, and I got burned. I had a few that paid big profits, $600-700 profits, but obviously they got ate up because why? Got cocky. So I mean, you have to. That's why literally this is the number one thing I focus on: potential for profit. I look at that first, then I look over here and break down the math. I look at, okay, 79% chance of profit, do the math, and then then I decide if I want to go ahead and do that trade. That's the math. That's literally the formula you need whenever you're trading. Start out with how you think it's going to go. Look your potential for profit. If that meets your criteria, set a percent criteria. Like mine is at least 70%, at least. So once it meets that, then I come over here, do the math, break it down, see if that's the percentage I want to make in a week. And if not, then I kind of wiggle with it, and then try to figure out exactly where I think it's realistically going to go, shrink it, make it larger, whatever the case needs to happen, to where I'm going to make roughly 8% or more. My goal is always 8% or more in a week, and then I'm still above 70 to 80% chance of profit. That's just me. Like I said, you need to figure out what your criteria is. Step number one, literally, if you want, you all can write these down right now. Step number one, figure out your goal. How much percent do you want to make in a week? Step number two, find a stock that you can do some really good technical analysis on. Make sure there's no earnings or anything coming up that's really going to screw with the stock that much. Pay attention at the same time to your IV rank, because that determines your premium that you're going to collect big time. Step number three, obviously get your trade set up, no matter if it's a vertical spread, Iron Condor, call, put, whatever the case may be, get it set up. Step number 4 or 5, whichever we're on, look at your potential for profit, set a criteria for your potential for profit, and see if it meets that criteria. Step number 5 or 6, look at your max potential for profit versus max loss, and do the math. Does the math work out to where you want it to work out to? And then, obviously, the last step, submit the trade or edit the trade. Or maybe be prepared to abandon the trade. Maybe the trade isn't setting up right now for what you want. The last thing you want to do is force a trade. So always go into a trade. I always tell people, go into a trade like you would go into a real estate deal. Now, I know a lot of people don't like deal with real estate, but they kind of work the same way. If you, or let's just say when you go into a car dealership, go into the car dealership. My dad always said it to me. He was like, son, you always got to be prepared to go in, being prepared to leave. Because if you go in there and just pretty much fall in love with something, fall in love with a trade, fall in love with a car, fall in love with a piece of real estate, you're going to get screwed over every single time. Same thing applies with the trade. Be prepared to walk away. If it doesn't set up at all, no matter how much you play with it, if it doesn't set up, okay. If it doesn't set, I thought for some reason my thing had said that the stream was starting to mess up. If it doesn't set up how you want, no matter how much you play with it, walk away. There's so many different options out there, just like cars, just like real estate. You just got to be prepared to walk away. So, I mean, I love Apple. I mean, it usually sets up good every single time. I mean, it just like sits in your lap almost. 80% chance of making 15% on your money in a week. That trade is beautiful. But I know a lot of you guys, I mean, let's bring the quantity back down. I know a lot of people may not have $200, $300 sitting around to submit that trade. But again, there's so many different stocks, ETFs, all that out there that you'll find the right one. It's just about doing the homework. I literally usually once every day, because obviously I don't get home until after market close, but usually once a day I'll come, sit at the laptop for about 30 minutes to an hour, go over my stocks. I mean, my recents are usually filled, usually Apple, SPY, XOP. Those are the ones I generally play the most. Those three are what I generally play the most. And I'll just come in here and I'll just play around with the options. I'll play around with the Iron Condors. I'll take a look, and I usually bounce back and forth between TD Ameritrade and Tastyworks, and I'll kind of just play around with different premiums, strike prices, and just see like how much money I could actually make once I start doing these trades. And then I kind of follow them to see if it would work out good or not. And I mean, I just can't wait to see what December in 2019 and beyond holds. But if we don't have any more questions, I'll probably go ahead and start wrapping the stream up. We've already been on here for almost 45 minutes. Wow. Time flies by when you're having fun, right? But hopefully you guys have enjoyed the stream. If you did, definitely make sure to smash that like button. That's all I ask. Definitely shows me some support and shows that you guys like these streams. And if you see this video in the future after it uploads or whatever, and you have any suggestions or anything or have any questions, definitely always feel free to shoot them out in the comments. I'm usually really quick about responding to those. I get notifications from YouTube, Discord, and the Facebook page. I noticed today, because I had one of you guys message me on Facebook this morning, I got a notification from that as well. So those are the easiest ways to reach me. And like I said, if you haven't already, definitely consider hitting that subscribe button below. We'd love to have you here, joining our awesome community of like-minded individuals with the #1 goal of achieving financial freedom at the end of the day. And like I said, that Discord group chat is one of the first links in the description box. And I know, before I head out, I know we got a lot of new people tuning in, and a lot of people might be wondering, what is this Tastyworks platform? This platform, if you can't tell already, is an amazing, smooth platform for options traders. So, I mean, if you think options is ever going to be something you're going to want to hop into, which you'd be crazy not to, 80% chance on making $37. I'll take those odds any day of the week. But if you're in options or like options or think you're maybe going to hop into options in the future, or even you like trading futures, because you can trade futures, you can trade everything on this platform, and it's an amazing platform ran by a couple good guys. Their YouTube channel is also Tasty Trade if you want to give them a look up. They have a bunch of videos, awesome videos for options trading as well. But that platform, I have a link in the description box. If I remember right, it goes over like their commissions, how much it costs for options, stock trading, futures trading, futures options, all that good stuff. So if you, like I said, if you want to check that out, that's one of the also first couple links in the description box. But until next time, guys, keep on going out there making those profits, covering your profits, and achieving some financial freedom this year. And I'll see you guys, hopefully. I'm going to try to record another video or two before my girlfriend gets home, because like I said, I'm going to be going out of town for vacation to go back home for a few days from Wednesday through Sunday, so there might not be a Sunday stock watch this next week, but I'm going to try to go live one more time before we leave, and then I'm going to try to shoot a couple videos so you guys will have some information to look at while I'm gone. And I might try to bring my laptop with me and shoot a video or two while I'm in Missouri. But like I said, I'll see you guys around soon, and I'll keep you guys in Discord updated. But until next time, guys, take it easy.